What's going on, YouTube? The details of the big beautiful bill are out. The tax cut bill, Trump's proposed tax cut bill that extend the 2017 what is it, the something Jobs and Tax Act or whatever from 2017 that basically reduced taxes. If this bill isn't signed, we're going back to pre-2017 taxes, and basically everything's going up. Your taxes are going back up. That's really the simple gist to it. But I want to go through a little bit of this. I'm going to skip over some of the more niche, I would say, not as applicable, like the corporate jobs and the corporate tax provisions and things like that, because I don't think you really care. But let me know in the comments if you do, and I'll go over that as well. But I don't think it pertains to as many people. Not as broad of an audience for that kind of thing. But like I said, the big beautiful bill. They actually called it that, which is, I mean, do you expect anything less at this point? It's whatever. That's where we're at. Basically, we're looking at a bunch of spending cuts, a bunch of even more tax cuts than were in 2017. So, bigger deductions, more tax cuts. We were looking at the big ticket items, I guess you could say, or tax brackets themselves are the biggest item that applies to everybody. If you want to look at them, I'll throw the bill in the description down there so you can read it yourself. You can go look at the brackets, but I'm not going to go over every single bracket. But biggest ticket item, I think, honestly, besides that, was the child tax credit. Right now, it's a $2,000 deduction, or I guess credit, not deduction, two different things. Credit, so you just get $2,000 back on your taxes, flat. If it's not passed, if this bill's not passed, it would go back to $1,000 is what it was pre. And this bill actually proposes it go to $2,500 per kid. So that's good stuff. If you have a kid, or if you have kids and you've raised them, $2,500 isn't shit in the long run. Not really. I mean, I think people exaggerate, honestly, how expensive kids are so far. Obviously, my daughter's very young. She's only like 8 months old or so. But it's not that expensive, but $2,500 doesn't really put a dent in it, considering childcare is $10,000 or whatever. So good, but not the greatest thing of all time. Some of the provisions that he promised on the campaign trail. Now, these are interesting to me. No tax on tips, and basically no tax on overtime was another one, and the Social Security changes that they were going to try to make. So, no tax on tips. This is in that bill. Now, there's a caveat on there that if you make over $160,000, this doesn't apply to you. So basically, high income exempt, and this only applies, eventually they're going to supposedly come out with a list of people this applies to, jobs that traditionally had tips in their job. So basically just serving I'm trying to think of the other jobs that traditionally take tips. So basically like service jobs, like restaurant stuff, which I think is a good thing. Like, obviously, if you don't put these restrictions on it, everybody's job just turns into a tip job, I guess, and then everybody's tips are exempt. So if you had made $10,000 in tips for 1 year or whatever, you would claim the $10,000 in tips as income, but then also you just get a tax deduction of $10,000, so it's a wash and you don't get taxed on your tips. I mean, that's a promise they made. They're going to try to keep it. I have no problem with it. Go ahead. That's all good stuff. The no tax on overtime. That is another big one. I used to work a lot of overtime. I don't anymore. Once we had the baby, I was like, fuck overtime. I don't need it. I was just trying to make a little bit more money to get ahead. So I'm working overtime. I'd rather spend money with my family. But anybody else who's working overtime, construction guys work a shitload of overtime. A bunch of different jobs work tons of overtime. Healthcare people I know work quite a bit of overtime. It would turn your overtime into tax exempt, but only the bonus piece. So you make time and a half, working overtime hours. If you ever worked overtime, that's normally how it works. If you make double time, whatever. But it's only the half that is tax exempt. So you still get taxed on your regular base rate normally, but the half, so you make $50 an hour, time and a half, you get paid $75 an hour or whatever. That extra $25 an hour is tax exempt. That's good stuff too. I mean, they got to put a little restriction on it, I guess. They want to tighten it a little bit. They're not going to let you do whatever. And same rule applies though. Make over $160,000 and you're exempt from this, or it's going to at least taper down after that, as far as I know. So, I mean, still a good thing though. 160 grand's nothing to shake a stick at. So, yeah, progress made. The senior citizen thing. They were going to look at Social Security. This bill, the way they're going to pass it, budget reconciliation, they just need a true majority, which they have with just Republicans. They're not going to be able to get Democrats really on board for this, I don't think. The way they're passing this, they cannot touch Social Security in the general sense. So their way around this is going to be a $4,000 deduction for anybody who's 65 years old and up. So they're kind of like trying to circumnavigate that. They're kind of just get around touching actual Social Security and do it that way. Whatever. I personally, I don't know if anybody's watching that you get Social Security. Not very many people I know get it. Obviously, my grandma gets Social Security. If you already paid in taxes once and then the government pays you out the thing you're due, I don't think you should be paying taxes on it at all. I think it should all be completely exempt. But I don't know. You let me know what you think in the comments about that. That's my personal opinion. So, whatever. And there's a couple more one-off things, but I'd like to honestly make another video about some of these other topics because I got to read into it a little bit more, one, to be honest, and two, I think some of them deserve their own video. The MAGA accounts, if you've heard about this yet, it's like $1,000 would be for like the next 3 years till 2028, I think. Or I guess it's 2 years, so 2026 to 2028. Any kid born in that time would get a MAGA account, basically an investment account, an IRA, and the government would put $1,000 in it to start an investment account for them. I mean, sure, I don't see any financial education over this, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to start some people off, and if they can't touch it or something until they're 18, I mean, that's a good start. Forced investing where they don't really have to do it themselves, and it maybe promotes like people having kids and stuff. I mean, sure, I guess. I don't have any qualms with it, to be honest. I like the idea generally. There's some stuff about car interest being tax deductible like your mortgage interest. Like I said, I think I want to make another video about that, but I don't think that's really a great idea. And then we got some SALT deduction stuff, which is your state and local tax exemptions where you pay big high state local taxes. You can exempt that from your income. Like I said, if you want to hear some more about that, let me know. Tell me in the comments. I'd appreciate it. But otherwise, I'll make it in a different video because it's just, I don't think it applies to that many people, to be honest. But it is still interesting. So, like I said, there's going to be more as people read this out. I think it's 300 and some pages long, so there's plenty of information in there. But let me know if you got some out of the video. I'd appreciate it. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe, come back. And we're going to be talking more about this, I think, because it's, like I said, there's a lot to it. But we'll see if it gets passed. That'll be the big question, if the Republicans can rally all together and actually get something done and pull a consensus together and get it passed or not. But we'll see. So let me know. Let me know in the comments what you think about some of these interesting provisions and these the extended tax cuts, I guess. But one way or the other, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.